What's up, man?
Yeah, good fight, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Timing is good.
Thanks. Yours is too. Fuck. That's why I had to switch. Like, goddamn, you had good distance. Good distance, man. Thanks for prayer.
Yeah, it was a good shot.
Thanks.
One hell of a fight.
Very good fight, good timing, man. Yeah, you can pop as well, obviously.
I told you.
You can pop as well. I think the timing is more than the pop, though. You know, you obviously got great timing.
We both boxers, you know, counter punchers, so you get that when you got two counter punchers trying to psych out.
What did you think first couple of rounds when?
I was trying to figure you out.
Yeah,
Shit, you was trying to catch me coming in, and I was trying to catch you coming in. You wouldn't come in, so I was like, fuck. So it was just like I had to switch my game plan up.
Keep it up.
I didn't get a picture.
Kell Brook and Terence Crawford discussed the fight after the fight. They had a classic moment discussing the fight, showing a great sportsmanship in which Bud was telling them, I was getting frustrated because you wouldn't commit, you wouldn't lead, and I was waiting on you to come in so I could counter you. And once, obviously, Kell Brook did so, that's when it was lights out for him.
So, yeah, that's where I might disagree with you on the fight itself, because I feel like Kell Brook won all 3 rounds before the 4th. And Terence Crawford needed to outbox Kell Brook tonight. And he didn't do that. And people like Sean Porter, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia are going to look at that and be like, he basically got dominated for 3 rounds before he got caught, before Kell Brook got caught. And those better welterweights over there on PBC aren't going to be scared of Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So that's not good for Crawford, especially now that he's basically a free agent and he might be going over to PBC.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you. Obviously, Terence Crawford, like Ward pointed out, he tried to figure you out in the first couple rounds and get your timing. Bud don't really get started till he switched southpaw. When he switched to a southpaw, I believe in the last couple seconds of the second round, you could clearly see in the third round, he started doing much better. I felt like the third round could have went either way. I don't think Kell Brook clearly won that round. I had Kell Brook winning 2-1. I think I saw Terence win the third round, but I could possibly be wrong. You know, it was a close round. But my point is, he started doing better, and that's what Bud does. He make adjustments in the first 2 rounds. The same thing happened with Postal. If you remember, it took Bud to figure out Postal for 2 rounds. After 2 rounds, that's when he started piecing him up. And what's highly impressive about what Bud did tonight is that he stopped a guy that has an iron chin with arguably a jab. So the guys you mentioned, like Porter lost to Kell Brook. Errol Spence. A lot of people felt like Errol Spence, had a war with Kell Brook, this and that. I'll be honest with you. I had Kell Brook winning 2-3 rounds max against Errol Spence. After that, he pretty much beat Brook up. A lot of what Errol Spence did was overlooked with his body attack and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is neither Errol Spence, even Gennady Golovkin, a guy that's 2 divisions above Kell Brook, who's supposed to be a power puncher, none of them hurt Kell Brook in this fashion with one single punch.
Yeah.
Nobody did. You know what I'm saying? And for Terence Crawford to hurt someone like Kell Brook at this level is highly impressive, because we normally don't see that. So against the likes of Porter, against the likes of Errol Spence, one thing they're going to have to be cautious of, not just his skill, not the fact that he could make adjustments on the fly. Also, they got to be cautious of his power. He stopped every single opponent at welterweight. Do you know what that means? That means he a power puncher. He a boxer puncher. So when it comes to Porter can't be reckless with Terence Crawford, because Terence could catch him with something and possibly put him out. With Errol Spence, the same thing. Errol Spence got to be cautious with him, because Terence is a counter puncher. He wants you to come in. He wants you to attack him. See, he knocked out Kell Brook when Kell Brook opened up. As soon as Kell Brook opened up with a right hand and committed, he caught him and it was lights out. So if Porter does the same thing, he will risk getting dropped or knocked out, because now we could see that Terence have power to hurt the best at welterweight, a big welterweight. Like, let's not forget, you know, Terence did not break down Kell Brook to the body, didn't knock them out. He just knocked them out. This is some Gervonta Tank Davis type of power at welterweight. So I think Terence's power is being overlooked with his skill level, with his defense, because like I said, he was just making adjustments. I don't think he was out of the fight. I think he was just trying to make adjustments, trying to figure out the timing of Kell Brook. So what's your take on that? The fact that nobody ever hurt Kell Brook the way Terence did with one punch.
I mean, you're not right. You're not wrong. Like, I agree. Like, fighters like Sean Porter and Errol Spence, they can get caught coming in, you know, at the wrong time if they fight Terence Crawford. Like, I completely agree with that. But the kicker is with Kell Brook. I know he came off of a couple of wins. I'm not, but
just to respond to you, you gotta have defense to beat Terence. To have a chance against Terence, you gotta have defense. When it comes to applying pressure, all that, I don't see that working. Looking back at this fight, Porter, his style might work perfectly for Crawford because Crawford could keep him at bay and try to walk him to something. You have to have nearly ultra instinct defense in order to beat Terence. I think a lot of people don't give Errol Spence credit for his defense. He got great fundamentals. He always keep his hands up. The mistake that Kell Brook made tonight, which it ain't really much of a mistake, I think he probably overcommitted with the right hand. When it comes to Errol Spence, everything is precise. He never lunges. He's always in position. He's always in great balance. So it's harder to counter Errol Spence than it is to counter a guy like Kell Brook or even a Porter. You know what I'm saying? So a guy like Errol Spence, with his defensive skills, with his offensive output, with his power and speed and the whole package, he will give Terence Crawford a hell of a fight. That's a 50-50 fight. But anybody not named Errol Spence, I have to favor Terence Crawford all day. Because, like I said, you have to have ultra instinct type of defense. You got to go Goku and ultra instinct in order to avoid Terence Crawford devastating counter punches. Because he could finish you with the counter.
Hold it, you're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I took up the wall. I took up the wall. I took up the wall.
I bear witness there's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. That's what I said, Larry, on the Bungle fight. Thanking you.
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.